running the competition. I stop students 25 minutes before the end of class, and that's basically enough time to clean up properly, and then run the competition, and then do a little bit of a debrief afterwards. But it's important to have that time, because you don't want to be too rushed. Like, you don't want too much time, but you don't want to be too rushed either. Before I stop them, I just want to make sure of a few things. That I get the tape measure out, and I make sure their bridges are long enough. I make sure that the car can pass through from one side of the bridge to the other side. And I make sure that there's a place for the weights. So I'll show you how I use the bucket, which is what I do when I can't use the weights, but the kids are better off with the weights. It disperses the load a bit more evenly. So yeah, I try and use the weights. Okay, so after they've stopped, they've cleaned up, I usually get them to put all of their bridges on one table. And when I'm doing the competition, everyone kind of stands around. I usually do it just because I'm putting weights on, and I want to make sure no one hurts themselves. So, I make sure my feet are well out of the way. I've got something on the ground to kind of make sure the weights, don't hit the concrete or floor. So that's basically that. Then, once everything's clean, everyone's standing around, I usually pick the ones that look the weakest to go first, and I'll do the strongest last. So I'll go to the table and make a bit of drama out of it, pick one, put it on the table. Usually I get the kids to put it on the table so they can put it exactly how they want, because sometimes you'll put it one way and they'll tell you that it's upside down, or that it's not in the middle or whatever. Okay, when I've got it on there, what constitutes a failed bridge, or either the bridge has fallen down, obviously that doesn't work, but also if I start hearing cracking, or if I see pieces like the joins are broken and stuff, that's when I'll say the bridge is no longer, because it's just dangerous really. So, I put the weights on there, and if I see a bridge if it's kind of doing this, that's alright, but if one of the pieces breaks off, then that's when I'll say, no, that's it. And when I score them, it's the last successful weight. So if I put a weight on, it stays on there for 5 seconds, I put another one on, it breaks, it was the one that I put on and then waited. That's the score. Yeah, so that's basically that. So I'll grab the weakest looking bridge first, get the kids to put it on, the group. They'll put it exactly where they want to put it, and then I'll just grab the weights. So I'm just going to use wood, because we're halfway through this project, so this isn't the finished one. And I'll basically just put it on. I don't think this will take it, so I'll just sort of leave it there. I'll sort of say, 5 kilos, grab another one, 7.5 kilos, whatever. And then after a while it'll break. So we clean it up. I usually bring one of the wheelie bins in from outside, we just chuck them all straight in there. Put it to the side, find the next weakest one, put it in. And also, while there's a bit of a changeover, I'm just making sure the tables are still at 600 apart. So I like this jig because it can just stay there. It helps protect me from the stuff, and as long as the kids stay back, they'll be protected as well. And it keeps the tables exactly where they should be. If you're using the bucket, you usually have to slide it in like that, and then leave the bucket in the middle. This one won't take it, but usually when they finish, they will. And then I put the weights in the bottom of the bucket. That's only really if there's not a flat place at the top. So, yeah, I mean, with the time that I give them, which is a couple of hours, they don't really have time to get too fancy with it and build like curved sort of Sydney Harbour style bridges. I made a trophy as well it's just a rubbish trophy, but I write the kids' names on there and how much weight it held and the date, just so they get a bit of a, they like doing that. Yeah, so that's basically running the competition. It can get a bit loud and boisterous and stuff, and some people can get, a bit frustrated with how theirs went. But yeah, it usually runs pretty smooth and something the kids look forward to, so I enjoy running a competition like that. Yeah, cool. If you have any questions with any of this stuff, just send me an email and I'll get back to you and I'll update everything. And yeah, make sure you read below because that'll be more that'll be up to date. I'll make sure I put everything in there too. So on the next bit.